Hello everyone, welcome back to Garden Fever. I'm Corey Lefevre, your host, coming to you from northern Utah in the United States, and wanted to get into kind of a slightly, well, it turned into be a slightly controversial subject. It's not really, but it ended up being that way. So those of you who are here to answer the question of the title of the video, skip ahead to this point and it'll get right into your answer. For those that are new to my channel or new to haven't heard or seen my first video about this, it was one of my most successful videos. I wanted to give a little bit of a backstory. I talked about one of the fails in eggshells. One of the most critical things that I was criticized on was the amount of time it took me to explain the explanation when it could have been condensed down to a much shorter video. So let's give you a quick backstory. I was basically saying this: eggshells are readily available in homes. As far as getting calcium to your soil, I think they're a great way to do it. I do prefer it over bones, is what I was saying. Bones tend to stick around in the garden a little bit longer, in my opinion. And I think people make the mistake of not breaking them down small enough particles that it doesn't really affect slugs and whatnot, which some people use it as a deterrent. Now, I've seen videos where slugs have gone across razor blades, and then I've seen videos where some soil was covered with finer eggshell particles and one side wasn't, and all the slugs kept going over to the side without the eggshells. So there's some debate on it, to each their own. I wanted to give some advice and a second egg type of shell that we all should put into our gardens as well, that we overlook, and kind of add on to that, and that is this one. So, not really in focus. It's a snail shell. Break them up into fine particles. I still stand behind that. Break them up and spread them around with your eggshells and your concoctions. Over time, your plants will thank you for it, I promise. Okay, that brings us to our next part. We won't beat the dead horse like it was in my last video, but you can break it down by hand, which is an ASMR kind of thing. I find it oddly satisfying. Some people found it tremendously annoying. To each their own. You can use a rolling pin, pestle and mortar. You can use a coffee grinder, was suggested. There's lots of ways to break it down. Bottom line is, I'm suggesting that you break them down to a fine powder, to small pieces. I believe, and I still believe, that however you are using your eggshells / snail shells, breaking them down will be the most effective way to get them into your garden and use them. That's just my personal opinion. So, bottom line, as you see these, break them down, add them to your soil. With that, I'm hoping that was a much more condensed video and I won't be so heavily criticized, but I'll listen and try and learn from even my critics. With that, I would like to see you next time. Subscribe, comment, bell, all that fun stuff. This is Corey Lefevre with Garden Fever, and we'll check you out next time.